Hey everybody, Car Dreamer here, coming at you on behalf of D-Class Derailed and all things D-Class related. And today I'm here once again with,
Demi-Human.
that's right, he's only half human all the time. That's right, all the time. He can only be half of a human being. It's sad.
We're still not going to talk about what the other half is, but
Well,
that's another discussion for another time.
Demi is short for demon. But he's a demon human.
I'm a demon human.
Demi is kind of like actually. He's like demigod, but demi-human. So that means he's not quite a god, which means he's not quite a human. He's subhuman. I tried to explain this to him once before. It didn't work.
I thought you were going to call me a demi-demon just now. I was going to like, that's just, I don't know how to feel about that. It's just,
That's okay. You're subhuman. Do you even have feelings?
that's a good point. I would care for I would probably care for like half the time. So like, I'd care for like maybe 30 seconds. And then after that, I'd be like,
It's true.
which sounds a lot like me, honestly. So I can
Now that we
understand
got
that.
introductions out of the way, so today's discussion is going to be about the CW Arrowverse and whether it's going to survive into the next phase. Well, the next phase can survive, I should say. So for those who don't know, Arrow which started the Arrowverse, has ended. That ended same season as Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they just recently we had two bombshells dropped since COVID and the pandemic and the state of the world. Let's just throw it all out there. The state.
Yeah.
We had two bombshells drop with the CW stuff since then, and that was that Ruby Rose has left Batwoman and the character is being written off, and they're just introducing a new Batwoman because we'll go figure how that works. And this will be Supergirl's last season because the actress who plays Supergirl, Melissa Benoist, wants to be home with her new baby, and I can get that. So, but with Supergirl ending, and actually, there's rumors of other shows. I think there's rumors that this will be Legends last season, Legends of Tomorrow, and Black Lightning's last season as well. See,
Yes, it's a lot, man.
So if all these shows go, can the CW Arrowverse carry on? Are the new shows going to be strong enough to carry? And that's what we're going to discuss today. So, let's just recap. Like, what out of the old school, was your favorite show?
So I've always been. I think originally I've always sort of been a fan of the Flash, like even just as a kid. So to me, I was definitely excited to see what their take on how they were going to introduce Barry Allen was. Um, and I will say that I was sort of on and off with Arrow, sort of being like the original show that sort of got introduced. But I did eventually catch back up and then watch the final season. Um, yeah, for me, I'm okay with Legends. I don't think I've actually like fully gone through everything. I do think that like there was a lot of the 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 randomness of the show was something that I always enjoy, but also I think it was one of those things that made me feel like I could sort of stop and start at any point, and I wasn't like missing too much. Um, as far as that goes, I would definitely say that like those were the ones that stuck out to me. I did watch Batwoman, and I did like their take on how they wanted to sort of introduce everything with Kate and with her sister and everything else. Um, so I definitely feel it does feel like fans are getting a bit slighted with that one, just because of the way that you sort of see character development happen. And I think we talked about this, like the whole family drama thing was definitely an interesting angle to take with it. Um, so it's unfortunate. I obviously Supergirl as well. Like Supergirl um, was a show that I enjoyed watching. I just didn't watch it consistently, and that was the big thing I think for me is like it is a good show, and it's unfortunate to see it go. But I just wasn't watching it as consistently. I'm sure once I go through and I watch everything, I'm definitely going to sort of be on the same boat as everybody else and saying like I sort of wish they weren't ending it. In this sense, it is nice to see like it was nice in general just to see an era um, of a bunch of superhero shows sort of flood the CW at once. Um, so it is weird to see this many sort of all going off at once.
Thanks. All I did was ask which one was your favorite. I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
Either way.
No, I definitely agree with everything. So I'll start off by saying Arrow started off being my favorite, which I think it's
Mhm.
kind of cheating because it was the only one for a while. But um, Arrow was actually the one that started bringing in the crossovers with the other. It's the one
Mhm.
that started expanding this the CW verse, and I don't mean just with Flash and all that. It brought Constantine into the CW universe by bringing back
That's true.
like by bringing back the actor, bringing back like him specifically to play the role again, and keeping his show within continuity, which I thought was really cool. And then yes, Flash spin off, and I will have to say it did not take long for Flash to become my favorite show, and that has nothing to do with like me feeling like Arrow got better or worse.
Mhm.
I think Flash just hit aspects of the comic books and and characters and humor a little more on the
Mhm.
degree that I like than Arrow. Arrow was the Batman spin, so to speak, which is awesome, which is fine. But Barry had more had the ups and downs with the emotional roller coaster. Um, I liked. I don't know. It was weird. Like whereas it seemed like Arrow was able to he was human but could overcome everything. Barry had the speed and it was and like it was the reverse. He has powers, but they weren't always enough. Whereas Oliver had no powers and it seemed to always be enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't just like there was just something with the cast that Flash had and him that show just and the plot lines that and I think also because it was dealing more with the metas and the superhero or superpower aspects more than Arrow did that
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. And I'm not gonna lie, Candace Patton who plays Iris is just gorgeous.
Just. Oh man,
To be fair though, every single one of the shows has extremely attractive ladies on the show.
that is true. They know how to pick them. They did their due diligence. And
Katie
as
Lotz,
somebody,
yeah, Katie Lotz will always be one of my favorites. Who she plays Sarah Lance on Legends now, but she between her eyes and that quirky smile, like just like okay, but but
and the
Candace, if you're listening,
and the slightly raspy voice too. Don't we'll be
yes,
honest. We'll be honest. Come on.
she's
It's
not listening. She's not listening. I know,
she's
but no, I know, but oh no, like just every one of the show has attractive ladies, and it, you know what though? Okay, but getting past that because that's just me being a guy. But I enjoyed all the shows. Legends, was definitely the more off the wall quirky. It didn't start out
Yeah,
that way, but as it developed, it got more quirky, more off the wall, more WTF. I don't like some of them. I'll scratch my head like, what the fuck did I just watch?
yeah, yeah.
But it doesn't
Honestly,
matter because it's Legends and you just have fun with it. Um, yeah, Flash was always my favorite. So I agree. Batwoman, like if they set up so many awesome angles
mm,
between her having to carry on in the shadow of her cousin and carrying a burden she didn't even mean to carry. Then her biggest opposition is her father, her own father. Her sister just like they just finally came. Well, her sister, her stepsister, whatever, had just come to terms with knowing like each other's secret, or so like they finally had support that way. But then her real sister is one of her arch nemesis, and then she's got to deal with. I was really wanting and hoping to see it more play out, and maybe they still can with how they're going to write off, however they write off Kate Kane's character or the
mm,
character of Kate Kane. Like, she really struggled seeing a version of Bruce in Crisis that kills,
yeah,
and then she went ahead and killed Alice's captive and tormentor. So I really want to kind of see that becoming too much. The only thing I didn't like that came with that is that um, Lucas kind of reveals that Bruce killed Joker, which threw me off. Question,
yeah. I mean,
but the point is like I maybe this is going to be her thing. Like I've come to accept that I've done this, but I can't go on being the hero if I'm going to be a villain type of thing. And maybe that's what so she's it's
mm,
going to be a walk off thing. I would at least kind of respect that rather than ignore the fact like I killed once, but I can stop. It's not. I'm not going to eat the whole bag of chips. I killed only once. It's okay.
I'm
It's just once. It's
I'm
just
so
once.
bad that you just equated murder to a bag of chips.
It was a cheat day. It's okay. It doesn't count.
I can I can just reseal
It's
it,
just
guys.
one.
It's
It's just
fine.
one. It's just one. No one's gonna miss him. It's okay.
Half of the bag is filled with air. It doesn't even matter.
It's right. It's right. Like, look, we don't know if he's really dead. I mean, he faked it how many times? He's faked so much stuff.
Uh,
Could have been a hallucination from all the gas. Maybe she was still a little high. You never know. Anyway, but I mean, the biggest thing is like you have all these plot threads from different shows for the most part, and a lot of it because of the whole pandemic that need to be finished, and then you have things like Crisis, which it's kind of like the reverse of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You had all this fun adventures with everybody getting together, and then Endgame was just that, the end. Crisis
mm,
finally gets everybody under the roof, and then everybody's like, okay, we're done. Like they finally set up the Justice League table, and now Supergirl's leaving, Batwoman's different and not really part of the group. Oliver's dead. Black Lightning and just in the League of League the Legends aren't basically going to be there. So it's like, what did you set up this whole one world? So you set it up so it's easier to do the crossovers, only for no one to be left to do the crossovers.
literally.
Like I get Superman and Lois are getting their own show, and I'm happy for that. But then it bugs me. Supergirl is not even going to be involved with that. Although they did say the actress would come back for cameos, which is more than Stephen Amell was willing to do for Arrow, which I kind of get. He was really upset with filming during Crisis because it wasn't anybody's fault, but it just frustrated him.
Yeah.
And he swears he'll never come back, which kind of bums me out because I think he should kind of let it go and just come back for cameos because it's not like he has to go through the same thing as he did doing a whole season. But anyway,
That's here nor there. I guess I guess we can't confirm or deny whether or not they'll end up listening to this either. So,
That's well, I confirm they're listening. But anyway,
oh, okay, okay.
it just bums me out. Like Supergirl is really the one you need. I really felt like you were gonna need with Superman show starting,
Yeah,
and then I'm kind of bummed because Diggle is leaving Arrow and supposed to be moving to Metropolis, so you were supposed to see crossovers there, but he also got the Green Lantern ring, so you're like, how the heck is this all going to work? And then there's just all this setup that you're not going to get to see really play out and finish. And it's and you I mean look, and Superman's the heaviest hitter on the new phase for the Arrowverse. He no pun intended really because he's Superman, but he's the biggest hitter character wise of anything new that they're doing.
100%.
Stargirl has potential. The longer that show went on, I enjoyed it, but it
Hmm.
kind of really bothered me that this Injustice League or this Injustice Society of America could beat adult versions of years experience, gets all beaten by high schoolers. Like I don't how high schoolers who are not even familiar with their own abilities. The new Hour Man, can't fight, has no fighting training whatsoever. He's just strong for an hour. Like I don't understand the mentality. Like these kids beat the Injustice Side. How? Why? I really have to question your abilities as a supervillain if this is what it takes to defeat you. It's like, I mean, the Justice League is doomed, but if we put you up against the cast of Saved by the Bell, that's it. The world is
No,
saved.
stop! Don't you dare! Don't
It's
you?
basically what you just told me. That's what this show proved. We don't need the Justice League when you have Saved by the Bell. I said it. Now what? Bring it on. But it's the truth. They're 16. They're not even like seniors in high school.
Yeah, that's a true statement, and I feel like that's just it's not okay. Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point, though.
If they were at least seniors, 18, starting to go into adulthood, like that would kind of mean something. But even Power Rangers covered that storyline better than we're seeing here, like them giving up their power, moving on to
You
adulthood.
just you
Yeah,
did
I
not
did.
just
I
give.
did. I
Oh
did. That's
my
right. I
god!
said Power Rangers did something better than the Arrowverse just did. Now what? Now I'm talking the
Wow.
era. I'm talking Tommy Oliver era. Okay, I'm talking when Tommy left. Not anything that came after.
Okay. 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 That's fair.
Like I'm just saying, we've seen it before in hero shows, and I just don't get what do you do from here. I don't. But be that as it may, jokes aside, I liked how it ended. I actually thought there were some good moments, emotional moments. It really kicked into a whole new level when I forget the character's name, the one who had the mental powers. When he
Oh,
killed
brainwave.
Brainwave, when he
Yeah,
killed his son,
bro.
that
Whew.
was I was like, holy crap, they really did that.
Yeah,
That
man.
that's when the show took a turn. I was like, all right, you got me. You got
Yeah,
me.
because
Willing, you're
I think
willing to
it.
kill your son, a 6-year-old son. I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, you know what I
I'm not
mean?
rooting
It's
for
like
the hero anymore. I got you. I got
wait,
you
no, no,
back.
no, no, no. Hold
No,
on,
I'm
hold
not
on.
rooting for the
No,
hero.
no, 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 no.
This is a
I,
villain that's awesome. This is a villain who knows what it takes to be a villain.
we were on the same
Sacrifices.
we were on the same track for a second, and then you were just like, nope. The second you killed your son, I was with you. I was like, wait,
We
hold
may
on,
have been
hold
on
on.
the same track, but I'm on the train with Timmy. I will never explain that to any of you listening. I'm sorry. I will never explain that joke.
Oh,
But if you took a math class, you know the problem.
I was gonna
Oh,
say
but
you did not just. Oh my god. You,
but anyway,
uh,
I don't see how you could be on any other track. We have a villain who's finally willing to make sacrifices for the dream, man. For the dream, for the plan, for the goal. He saw a vision, he said, I'm going there. And he did it. And it only cost him his son and his wife. Oh, well, you can replace them. You can't replace those dreams, man.
Huh? Wait. Okay, hold on. Can we? Okay, but I feel like
Obviously, you can
can
replace
you?
the heroes. You can't replace the dream.
No, not even that. I was gonna say, can we? I guess sort of going on the aside of Stargirl, like, can we talk about like because I do think there's that little weird bit of internal struggle with Brainwave of just like as he sort of forgets and then starts to remember again that like he basically had his arm like twisted to kill his wife and then basically to kill his son as well. So like
But he didn't.
yes,
He admitted that it was himself that he said that he admitted himself that he's the one who killed his wife because she had a narrow vision. He's the one who confronted his son and was like, "Look, I don't want to do this because I'd rather you be evil. It's so much cooler. Join us. But if you want to be a chump, I'll kill you because I don't have chumps for kids." He gave him the ultimatum. He gave him the tough love, like saying, "Either grow up and be a man, or I'm going to kill you."
just the straight to the point of just
Yeah, I'm going to put you down like a rabid dog because you know what? I ain't got time for that. Either
I
you
thought you were
breeding dog or you just a mutt that we take into the vet for. I'm just saying, you're gonna be taken to the pound. You're gonna be put under because no one's adopting you, kid. Pick a side. The son chose wrong. Son chose wrong.
uh
To his credit, now I understand Stargirl's cute, and you saw like I get that, but no, a cool villain who wins can have the women any woman he wants because they'll be
well
scared of you.
well he had the woman he wanted and he killed her. So is
He
that
didn't kill her.
really?
No, I'm not talking about Brainwave himself. I'm talking about the son.
Okay, okay.
That would be creepy if I'm talking about Brainwave and Stargirl being cute. That was just
No,
creepy.
no, 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 no. I thought you were saying that like Brainwave being the villain is powerful and he can have any girl he wants. And I'm like, yeah, but he killed the girl that he wanted. So I mean, I don't.
But he can get a new one because he's evil and he was awesome and he had the power.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
And,
if he had succeeded in actually like wiping everyone's brain, then technically, yeah, he could have gotten any girl he wanted.
yeah, exactly. I, I'm just saying it was a villain I could get behind. It was the reason I could get behind the show because he was smart. It was everyone else that let him down. It's everyone else. I blame everyone else. The child got
No,
in the way. As a parent, I understand. Children get in the way.
they just get in the
Oh, but anyway, no. Stargirl was a good show. Stargirl was good, but you got Lois and Clark coming, which I'm a Superman fan. I'm curious because I am a little disappointed they're doing a different Lex Luthor.
Mhm.
I'm a little more annoyed that he's from a multiverse that they have yet to a new multiverse they have yet to explore, and I'm not sure I feel okay with Superman being the first one to explore it. Flash was the one that started with the multiverse. I'd rather keep these things on Flash.
Yeah.
I'm not saying other shows can't have their multiversal episodes, but I like when Flash is the one that opens up the doorways for the other shows to do it.
And I was gonna say honestly, I think it was better for Flash to do it anyway, just because like it obviously fit into the premise and the MO of the show. So I do think that like I think with with that it made sense. I don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to go the multiverse route again with Superman, or if they're going to try and maybe take it more to a threats from different planets type of thing. Because I think that would be a more cohesive angle that they could take with Superman. Um, of
And
just having,
definitely,
yeah,
I definitely agree, especially if they're going to have, if they follow through on the Diggle Green Lantern thing, that would make more.
exactly, yeah, yeah. I think multiverse. I think they should definitely keep that route. If they're going to bring it back up, they should definitely go the Flash route, just because again, like I mean, it's the Flash, and it makes sense, obviously, in terms of like his abilities and the capabilities of finding out that you can travel to different multiverses and things of that nature with not just Flash, but with Vibe as well. So yeah,
But
no, I
Vibe
definitely.
doesn't exist anymore. The
Well,
character, like Cisco's there, but he doesn't have his powers. He had to have an extrapolator device that he invented that he gave Supergirl, but those things don't work anymore because all the multi. Well, I mean, not that he can't reinvent them once they rediscover a multiverse, but the thing
yeah.
is, they got to discover it first. They all assume that the multiverse is gone.
Well, but I was gonna say, I mean, at least to me, the opening there that I can at least think of was when obviously they had to almost do the weird seance with Nash and
Oh, expel, yeah.
yeah.
That, Reverse Flash.
Yeah, so like at least to me, because of the fact that obviously they were able to like extract that consciousness from him, and then he sort of disappeared, but he wasn't actually gone. So I think because of the fact that he technically still has his own speed force that he can utilize, that like that it does give some sort of access back in a sense. I don't know which way they would take it, but I do think that like obviously that does still leave sort of the door open. Um, but yeah,
But so we only know of two shows.
mhm.
That alone isn't really going to carry. Oh, and Batwoman going. So I don't know if these. Batwoman's on very thin ice whether or not it's even going to go past the season two.
That's true.
The other shows, like Superman's only starting season one, which we know we'll get a season two because it's Superman. Stargirl did good to get a season two. Like what? I don't even think they have anything planned for the CW Arrowverse. I think anything else is for the stupid HBO shows that we don't care about.
Yeah, we're not.
I'm sorry. I'm not saying Doom Patrol is bad or Titans is bad. I'm just saying they're not the CW verse.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
CW verse has a great balance between the action, the good actors, the cheesiness, some cheesiness that kind of dates back to like Super Friends, things like that. Like they're just fun with some good storylines. And
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I did not like what I saw of Titans. I didn't see anything of Doom Patrol, so I'm not going to judge it. But
I mean, Doom Patrol is I will. So I've seen the first season. I don't know if the second season came out already, but from the first season that I saw, I do think that like it very much sort of took the same route with Titans. They did definitely have a bit more like comical aspects of it that I think weren't as like I feel like they definitely tried to go with it wasn't as much like a cheesy sort of subtle comedy with that they do on the CW. Theirs was more like over the top just because of the fact that obviously they're dealing with superheroes. There wasn't necessarily like a human element to it. It's just like these characters are so insanely outlandish that like the there's not much to there isn't much to play off of their humanity necessarily. I feel like their humanity, they're almost trying to pander to it in like a sad way of being like, oh well, we wish we could go back to being like normal people and things of that nature. So yeah, I will agree though that I think there's something about the CW um in the way that they present everything to sort of have that like good balance that that the DC going through HBO is just not it's not doing. So but
fair. And I know they're supposed to get a Green Lantern show on HBO, which kind of irritates me because I really feel like that needs to be the Arrowverse. But
I agree.
at the same time, Arrowverse, I don't feel has the money to give it what it deserves. So now I'm 50-50 on that one. But saying all that, like, you've got two shows. Black Lightning was the only one I did not watch past the first few episodes, and it had nothing to do
Hmm.
with the show per
Hmm.
se. From what the first few episodes, the first couple episodes that me and my ex watched at the time, we really enjoyed. It was just a matter of between work schedule and already watching the like I just only have time for so many shows,
Yeah.
and Black Lightning just wasn't a prolific character enough in my mind that I knew really who he was, other than it was a DC character. So I stuck with, and plus, him being on a different Earth and not having anything to do with the others,
Yeah. There
like
was no real
it made it.
continuity there.
Well, they made it like they just made it so easy to dismiss that because all the other ones were connected, and they said he wasn't. Like, he wasn't on the same Earth, and there was no intentions of crossovers. And I feel bad because Crisis really underused him.
Agreed.
That should have been so much more. And then he finally gets to be part of a group, and he's, I mean, not even really getting a chance to capitalize on it. So I'm just really, all the great setup that they gave us, they're not going to follow through with, and then there's going to be nobody left to do anything with. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
So
We're
okay.
bringing
So
back the multiverse, but there's nobody in it. I mean, it's just there.
and I was gonna say the other, but you did make a valuable point when we talked about this originally, that I think is the only sort of like saving the only sort of saving grace for the DC shows if they decide to bring more over to the CW is just like they've had the ability, at least up until this point, of consistently bringing like I think you had said like B level um
They managed.
superheroes
Yeah, yeah.
and like just making them and like making the shows really well done. And like I will say for consistency's sake, regardless of what the show is, they have sort of been able to do that in a really respective way. And I want to say that like speaking the most recently, obviously, um, Batwoman and Stargirl, I think, are like two big highlights of that. And obviously not solely because of the fact that I didn't even realize I picked the two shows where the two heroes are women, but but
Wow, you sexist pig.
I you know what? but but no, I was gonna say, but beyond that, I think like it's also the fact that they out the gate. I think in my head necessarily because of the two of them, I didn't really have very high hopes for either one, just because I hadn't really done um I'd really seen a lot of promotion for either one of them, so it had really just been like off a whim that that I decided to watch them. I decided to watch them both, but I was like super surprised by how well they were able to develop the characters one in one season, um, to have an interesting storyline that was going to really tie um, them and their powers together, and then also like the community and the other people around them. Um, like just in the span of the one season made me like super surprised, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, the CW has obviously had a pretty good track record when it comes to the superhero shows, but these ones in particular, where I felt like I didn't really know much about them, and to see them really do it like that well, gave me hope. So I hope for the best, but also I don't know what they're like. It does really feel like at this point they may try and grasp at straws, and like I don't know how that's going to pan out.
Well, even Arrow, like it's like not no name, but when it comes to the DC Justice League in the main comics,
Yeah.
you have the Trinity, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. And then you would have, I would argue, the next step down is people like would be Flash, Green Lantern, and like those type. And then
Mm.
the step down below is like Arrow, like
exactly.
He's not B. He's like a C string, and I always took him to be a C string in the comics. And not that he was a bad character in any means. I'm not trying to knock him, but then the show like elevated to like whole new height and made him this big name up there with Superman and all. And that's in no small part to like Stephen Amell. He killed it, and it's like, and they didn't really do that since. And well, he even brought in other characters like the Ray. He brought in Ray. Sorry. Yeah, he brought in the
Yeah,
Ray,
he brought
or not the Ray. Captain Adam. Sorry, or
Oh,
Adam.
sorry, Ray Palmer. Yeah,
Ray
gotcha, gotcha.
Palmer. Adam. Well, his name was Ray, but I'm thinking of a different character. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but did they not bring in the Ray because they also brought
Yeah,
in
he was on Earth X, but
gotcha. Okay, okay.
I was mixing up people, but they brought in Adam. But I was thinking of Ray Palmer. Yeah, Adam. They brought in. Um, I know they brought in others. They brought in Mr. Terrific. They brought
Mm.
they brought in different people in ways that it was good. I mean, I liked what the show did, and then yeah, Stargirl's the next one that they kind of cheated because they started off with the Justice Society that everybody knew. You didn't get to see anybody but Starman.
That's true.
And then you started off with then all new people taking over the roles. Now, of course, season one ended with the cliffhanger. If you haven't watched it, not my problem. But Batwoman is I would say in the grand scheme of comic books is a relatively new character. Not that she came out last week, but
Yeah.
she's relatively new. Now it's like, but where do you go from there? So you're finally getting a chance to explore the Bat family, but now with this new Batman movie coming out, HBO they've already said that Batman's getting a year one movie based on that continuity on HBO. So that pretty much means we're going to put a Bat embargo in place again, which always bugs the crap out of me when they do that stuff. Um, which stinks because you have other characters I would not mind seeing. I would like to see a Red Hood show, but I have a funny feeling that would be more in line with
Mm,
the HBO Titans than anything Arrowverse could do.
definitely.
I'd say Batgirl, but kind of one and the same at this point. Um, yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know. I don't really know who else is left. Like, I don't. Yeah, there's nobody really left to pull from that hasn't already been done. Like, Hawkman, Hawkwoman's already been done on Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, although I think there's rumors that they're bringing them back for Legends,
Okay.
um, or a form of them. I don't know. I think there's rumors that they're bringing them back somehow. Jay Garrick is coming back on Flash, supposedly.
That's not a surprise.
No, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Um, what else? They brought like anybody you could think of that they could bring in. They bring in John Jones is already on Supergirl,
Oh, true. Yeah.
so it's like who's really the only one they haven't done Wonder Woman, and I don't think they're going to touch that with Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot being so good at her part, I think they're going to leave it alone.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, I think even with obviously, I think they're definitely leaning on that more towards Titans anyway, because of the fact that like um
Donna
they
Troy.
don't exactly. Yeah. So I think, and in the same vein, like that's the reason why obviously they had Robin and what's his name and Aqualad and 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 everybody else, and then sort of like the inclusion of Raven and Beast Boy and everybody else, and sort of like in sort of that big tie-in um, of Hawk and Dove and everything else is just like, obviously that sort of blend of the two. I think they've sort of just been able to make a good melting pot of stories of just like of to go that route. So I think if anything, yeah, with Wonder Woman, if they decided to do it, I do really feel like they would definitely try and tie that into the next upcoming Titans. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think CW, um, I think CW and HBO are going to have like a weird um relationship in terms of like how they approach um the DC superheroes, because I do think that like obviously, like, I at this point I hope anybody who's watching or who's listening, sorry, anybody who's listening watched Crisis and they saw the inclusion of literally every um like everybody in the DC universe, from Constantine to Lucifer um to
Lucifer was the best part of the whole crossover.
that was amazing. To the Flash from Justice League. I think it's Ezra Miller, something along those.
Yeah,
His name is Ezra.
as Miller. But now
Okay.
there's controversy whether or not he's what the. There's still things about what's going to happen with him given what the actor did in Iceland, but that's different. Um,
Okay.
it's yeah, Crisis brought in a lot of things that nobody's going to be able to use.
Exactly.
I mean, but it also referenced stuff that's already been done, like Smallville. Okay, it's done. The show's done. That I mean, Superman Returns is done. Um, the Birds of Prey, that show, done. I mean, it referenced shows that have come and gone. It's not like it started anything new.
Okay. Okay. I see your point.
Although, see, that's where it would have been interesting if they had brought in Stargirls or had their introduction in Crisis. And then you went back to the show. Like, their show was the reboot after Crisis.
Okay. Yeah, I see your point. I see what you're saying.
But so like going for like I'm worried because the Arrowverse for the longest time was the only shows that for the last few years I've been watching as they aired on time. Yes, I watched Family Guy and but that was or The Walking Dead, but I really didn't watch them. Sorry, The Walking Dead I did up until I stopped watching, but there just wasn't many shows I was watching as they aired. Family Guy I would catch up with if whenever.
I
Roseanne,
got you.
I got interested in watching Roseanne and the Connors just to see how they pull off the reboot, but I didn't watch them when they air. I just watched them on the demand when they hit. I stopped watching Walking Dead. Arrowverse was the only thing that I had consistent, and now I'm like, I feel like I'm losing everything. Like I mean, everything else went to Netflix.
For real, honestly, and that's like, and I think that's, I don't know. I mean, like, it's not necessarily, obviously, it's not necessarily like a bad thing, but there is definitely something, again, like, there's something to say about those shows that you can actually sit down to watch consistently. Um, and like, obviously, something to be said, again, going back to the CW, about like just their delivery in being able to really like um to give their own creative spin on each of the superheroes in such a way that like you've got people that are fans of the heroes themselves and just fans of the show to come and watch it again. Like, I do feel like the DC, like, HBO thing is just like, it's a different angle, but I do feel like more people that are die-hard DC fans are more likely to tune into it than anything.
Yeah, but even they won't stick with it long enough, or if it's not good, or
You don't think so?
not unless they're Zack Snyder fans.
You had to do it.
I did.
Zack Snyder, I hope you're listening.
I hope he's listening. You need to quit. You need to go on the
Just
run and never look back.
on the run. I thought
Go
you.
on the run.
I was
Go on the
literally
run
gonna
so you will
say
never be found. Not because someone's after him. I just don't want him to be found.
you're.
Anyway, we did that discussion. And the whole point of this discussion is just to talk about what the Arrowverse has done, where it's gone, like where it is at now, and if there is a future in it. And it doesn't look good. Like, just what do they have left to pull from? I could see them doing with Superman and having now two kids. I can kind of see them doing a twist on the whole um, League of Superheroes from the future, or the one Mon-El and all from Supergirl. Like, I can see them going over to there.
Okay.
Um, I can see what I would like to see I don't know if they would pull it off. It would have to be a middle ground. It can't be pure CW, but I don't want it to see it to go pure HBO. I would like to see, because they teased it with Crisis and the Lucifer crossover, I kind of want to see something dealing with the greater existence. I know Lucifer in itself deals with the heaven hell aspect in his own way, but there's still a lot of it tied to mortals with the whole detective thing, and they kind of bring in one role here or there. I want to see the battles being taken to a next step. I want to see maybe a show dealing with, maybe this would be a way to get Stephen Amell back without doing the same old thing, because he left being the Spectre. So what if we get a show that deals with the Spectre, Lucifer, and even having Constantine in there? Something dealing with the bigger world and those. You
I
got
see what
one
you're
who's the
saying.
right hand of God. You got one who's literally the devil, and one who deals with the dark arts, who's kind of struggling, walking that line like, I sold my soul, but I'm still trying to redeem myself. And he got Astra back in Legends. So I want to see this all working out. Maybe there's some kind of greater balance being worked. I think there's something there potential wise.
And you know what? Honestly, I will say that I think that is, to me, that is the biggest one up that the DC universe has on Marvel. Is like they have, I think to me they have a universe that that is already set up that they could literally take it in almost any direction that they want to. So like I think at best with with Marvel, they obviously had the Infinity Stones that were opening up um to different parallel universes, um and to different timelines and everything else like that. But but I guess after you said it, like the idea of of the DC universe being able to not only take it from the multiverse angle, which I think in a lot of ways they did, but like even to take it from from a almost like a heaven or hell type of um battle, or even from, again, even from from a planetary standpoint of just like with Superman being able to have um different villains and different heroes and everything um, from different planets and things of that nature. I think they're set up to do that in a really good way that could be sustaining if they actually decide to do it well. Because at the end of the day, they could do it, but if they don't do a good job with it, then it's just a waste.
I agree, but I mean, I want them to take the chance, but I think that's a level they'll never do.
You think they'll never do it? Ooh, wait, hold on.
I'm surprised Lucifer got off the ground. I don't think, unless Netflix does it, I don't see that
Really?
type of show. I don't see the type of show that I was talking. Like, I don't see that happening. I don't see them doing a show that deals with those greater. It's too sensitive. I think people are too uppity, PC. not even politically correct. It's just politically stupid. I don't like.
Man.
I the crybaby attitude of this decade. I don't understand. But I don't see DC willing to take that risk. I am seriously not only dumbfounded that Lucifer is still going, but they got another season. So
I mean, I don't know, because I do think there's like, obviously I do think I think the obviously the wittiness and the way that they're able um to really look at everything from like a I think the human aspect of it, for a lot of people, I think that's probably one of the easiest ways to be able to tie it in, because I guess I do get your point of just saying, like, if it was solely just like a a like heaven or hell type situation, where it was just like there was all these things going on strictly in heaven, there was all these things strictly going on in hell, that like people wouldn't gravitate towards it necessarily. And I do think, like, I think shows like, funny enough, going back to the CW, I do think shows like Supernatural did a good job of helping with that as well. You know what I mean? So
well,
like,
all right, did you just say a live action show that crossed over with Scooby Doo did a good job? I'm sorry, what?
you're
Say that again. Say that slowly so the show that crossed over with Scooby Doo did a good job of balancing the battles between heaven and hell. That's
they
what you
did
just.
though. No,
Uh, I
hold,
mean,
hold on.
I mean,
And then, but what I will, okay, hold on. So what I will say too is, I I'm just saying from a standpoint of like, of the audience being able to like to really sort of mesh the two, because I do think obviously everything happening on Earth and in sort of like in sort of that context helps. So like the idea of being like with Supernatural, like let's say Sam and Dean con- get in contact with an angel, or they get in contact with the devil, or um, or God, or they end up in purgatory, or whatever it is. All of this is still happening within like an Earth context. I think going to your point again, is just like when someone tries to make it like above that, and like it's beyond the fact of like, okay, this is all happening on Earth, and I can sort of see that relatability to it. I think that does get a little bit harder to maneuver.
I think they can pull. Well, okay, I do think. Okay, I'm not saying shows can't be pulled off and be
Mhm.
done well. I'm just saying I don't think they'll ever have the guts to do it.
Ah, okay, okay.
So that don't misunderstand me. I would love to see the show. I think you can take it to heaven. I think you can take the. You can have cast members from Lucifer easily, like with the Menadil and Maze, and even the detective. Now that she knows secrets, maybe even she can cameo. You can bring back. Heck, you could bring back Charlotte Richards and have her cameo even in heaven and something. Like you could do all sorts of things with his side of it. When it comes to Stephen Amell's character, it's a whole like the Spectre's a whole new ball game. He's not
Yeah,
going to be jumping around shooting arrows. He's not going to be really in a fight scene unless it is seriously on a almost crisis level event. I mean, he's not. He might be there to come and give orders. He might be there to speak parts, give advice, but that's really all his role would be. Was be kind of like give orders and or give advice or give clues. Once in a while, if there's a powerful being or something that requires the Spectre's intervention, that's it. Like that's where I would think Stephen Amell should like I would hope they would approach him and maybe he would reconsider because it's like this isn't doing the same old thing. Your acting is going to be different.
hmm,
Not that there can't be references to old friends or something like the Flash and all them, but this isn't you jumping around and your leather gear shooting arrows. This is requiring a whole different mentality to play it. He's kind of playing a whole different character just with a history. So I would love to see it. Like there's so much potential with Constantine there. You have Constantine can open the door to bring it in some Legends crew if he wanted to.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point.
Um, I don't think any old members of the Legend. I would think it would have to be somebody that ties into those things. Sarah Lance, because she was both a paragon and had the powers of a god or touched by a god. She's got
Mhm.
some potential within they could still use. I feel, oh man, what's her name? The shape changer. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I'm
uh,
really bad with names, people, until that actually gets in. But because she was one of the fates, she can still be involved. Like,
okay.
there's so much history and different things that can be woven in and out.
Mhm.
I mean, it would just be freaking amazing to see these type of things. It's a whole different type of Lucifer show than what we would have, but it would. I think it should still be fall under Lucifer. But anyway, this we kind of went on a side tangent. I'm big time, but again, this is discussing the potential where CW might need to go, where there's still potential for shows. But honestly, and I'm curious what everybody else would think because I just don't see Batman's off the table,
Mhm.
Superman's being done. I don't think they're going to do Wonder Woman. I honestly don't think they'll go because they already tried a couple of years ago to get a Wonder Woman show and it just never happened. They I think they did started filming somewhat of a test pilot episode, and I don't think it ever got off the ground. And I don't know. I think that's partly because the movie was coming out, and now it did freaking phenomenal. I think
Yeah.
there's going to be a little too much comparison to the Linda Carter Wonder Woman show,
Gotcha.
um, which maybe is unfair to say because like nobody makes comparisons to Adam West. Because Adam West was freaking awesome. People, you don't compare to Adam West. But there hasn't been a live action Batman show since Adam West. Just saying. Facts.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's I can at least respect the fact that they're not going to. Well, I mean, obviously with this whole new Batman thing, I do think that like their route in trying to take the show is going to be an interesting take, but I do think I can appreciate the fact that they didn't try to do that. I think it was an interesting choice to really say even if we decide to go with Batman, we're only going to do it from an animation um, standpoint as opposed to doing another live action one. Because I think if they had tried, um, it's is a conversation I was having the other day with a friend of mine. It was just like there are certain things that like can be rebooted and they could try and do like another version of it, but it doesn't always mean they should. I don't think they should do it. I just don't think it's it. To me, it doesn't make sense.
I agree. Actually, what they could do, I don't think they'll do it. But what they could do is bring back because I heard it was good. I didn't get a chance to watch it. The one season of Swamp Thing they did on the DC Universe app.
I actually liked it. I
I didn't
did.
get
I
to see
liked
it.
it.
I heard it was really good, and then it got canceled for no reason. Well, it didn't get canceled because of ratings or anything. It got canceled due to a bunch of behind the scene type of stuff. I think the CW should bring that back and give that another season. That would be interesting to cross over with
That's a good point.
because I don't know again who else is left. You've got all the sidekicks already on HBO. Green Lantern's going to HBO. You've already got Flash. John Jones is with Supergirl, and that's all ending. You got Superman. You can't do Batman. You're not going to do Wonder Woman. Who the frick is left, people? I'm happy.
Honestly, and I think like and obviously that's the I feel like that's the main point here. It's just like it's not that we don't have faith in the CW's ability to turn around a superhero that most of us wouldn't look at. It's just who do you go with, really and truly, at this point? It's just yeah. There's not there's slim pickings now, man.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, okay, I mean, Plastic Man. Do you really need a show about Plastic Man?
Plastic Man?
Yeah, he is a legit DC hero.
Yeah, but we're not. Come on, man. Plastic Man. Could you
I mean,
imagine a trailer for Plastic Man?
yes, and I see Robin Williams in the role. No, I'm
Yes.
just saying, like that. I'm just saying I don't take it seriously. I just,
Yeah.
um, that's one, but that's my point. Like, who's really left out the characters that you would take interest. Not that maybe there's ones out there that don't take interest because, like, again, we've seen it done before. Stargirl's a good example on the DC side. Marvel even did it with Guardians of the Galaxies. Like, who the frick cared until the movie came along
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
releasing. I think Swamp Thing's a good choice. You still have. I mean, if you're willing to introduce the multiverse and cross over with cinematic universe, and I don't see why you can't do Arrowverse versions of shows, maybe a Shazam show.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay. I
uh,
mean,
I don't know, but I just had one in my head too that I actually I think I heard something about a Booster Gold show, but I wouldn't want to see that. Booster Gold, as much as I don't mind the character, is to me is just not enough for a show. Same with same with Blue Beetle. These are not characters I want to see shows about. Um, there's just
oh,
there really isn't enough. I don't know. Maybe you can give John Jones his own show if the actor's willing to do. But what do you do around the show? Like, what would you base that on? Him going to Mars? You could, I guess, go into Mars and help fight and heal the wounds there. I know Magan already went there, so maybe there's something going on there. That would be totally interesting, and he can come back once in a while.
mm. I mean, I
DC
guess,
other
yeah.
pitches hire me to be a writer, and I can fix all the problems.
It's like, all right, first of all, you lock the conference room. First of all, Snyder, we get him out of here. He doesn't ever come in here. He's not
No,
allowed.
it's true.
We don't want to hear his opinion.
Give him the Marvel.
Give him to Marvel.
I'm kidding. I like the Marvel. I like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's like,
Um,
I don't want him to ruin it either.
I really, I really don't. Give them the Sony though. They're failing.
You know what? You know what?
I said
I
nothing.
mean, but technically, Sony's doing a partnership with Marvel now though, with Venom and Morbius is going to come out too. I think that's the partnership
That's
with
not a part.
it's
That's
not.
that's so. I mean, not that they aren't going to be part of the larger cinematic universe, but
Mm.
Venom is the Sonyverse. Like Venom is still Sony's character. That's not Marvel's. Same with Spider-Man. Technically, that's owned by Sony. Just Marvel's been using them. So
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
here's what you do: you give Snyder to Sony, they use them, they go completely under. Marvel gets to buy back all their characters properly, and we have no problems.
No,
Everything's win-win.
don't say that because I'm kind of Oh, do I retract that statement?
There is
Actually,
nothing that Sony's going to do that Marvel won't do just as well at, if not better.
well,
Was
no,
Venom a good movie? Venom was an entertaining movie.
it
Yes,
was,
it
it
was good.
was.
Okay, but that's all you got, Marvel. Or excuse me, that's all you got, Sony. That's all you got. That's all
Okay,
you got.
so I almost said this. I almost was gonna say that the trailer for Morbius does actually look quite good, but
It
I
may
feel like,
be,
but
but
I feel like Jared Leto has done his damage right now. He's still got the he's still got the stench of Joker on him, and it's not a good stench. It's not. It's
you're
just
using the word stench. Is there a good stench?
yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Sometimes
smells like a proper crap. Yes. Ah, smell that. Like, I don't understand. I don't know
When
where the
someone got
accent
their,
came from, but hey, I just
I don't either. That made me feel like someone just like stuck their head in the toilet and just inhaled.
well, you said it was a good stench. It wanted to make sure you got in there.
Oh my god.
But I will, yeah, I want to see Morbius. I wouldn't mind seeing, but that's Marvel. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
I think we can end discussion. I think we've made the point now that, and have gone on tangents that DC's on the fine line. Like they kind of pulled their end game before they really should have or intended to.
Hmm.
I mean, it's really sad that Crisis bringing everybody together is really what made everything stop. I think you kind of failed what unity means, DC.
Wow. Shame.
That's what I'm saying. Actually, if Black Lightning is going off, I would not mind to see Static.
I've been hearing a lot of people talk about that actually, and I do think that would be a good idea, especially when it comes to bringing things back. That I do think that like would be nice to do.
That would be interesting. It can't be completely like the cartoon, even though I did like that version of Static the most. It has to be a balance between the cartoon and what his comic book counterpart is. But aside
Okay.
from that, otherwise, I don't know. You better think of something, CW, because I don't know if I don't know if your whole two shows going forward are going to be enough to sustain me. Don't don't disappoint me, CW. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Don't don't do what the rest of the WB has done. Do not make me cry. We already know that the movie department is a lost cause. As long as Zack Snyder is around, I'm sorry. Anyway, I think we can call it there, unless you have anything more that you would like to add.
I think we honestly, I think we've covered a lot. We really like I'm surprised that even in our like our, our hopping back and forth and our ranting, we covered a good amount here.
We did, and only some of it was related to the topic.
Hey, we got our solid 23% in there, okay?
This is true. This is true.
So, props to us for staying relatively on topic.
Well, yeah. Props to our 10
Relatively,
minutes of
yeah.
focus.
That's what the people, hey, we got to give the people what they want.
I don't think the people know what they want, or they wouldn't be here.
Ah, fair enough. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Anyway, guys, I'm Card Dreamer,
And I'm Demi-Human.
and I appreciate you all listening. Please leave your comments down below or on Anchor, wherever you're listening to this to, and I will catch you next time.